everybody, and welcome back to the Blue Castle podcast. I'm your host, Sarah.
And I'm your host, Molly.
I think we've all decided I am the superior host, right?
I mean, if that's what they told you, it might have been to make you feel better. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, regardless, I believe in myself, and I am the magic, and that's what matters.
So you had to put me down. Okay.
Well, superior can mean a lot of things. Okay, anyway, let's get into today's topic. Anyway, well, we're coming back from our awesome trip to Disney World, and we were, very much in the resort hopping mode, and we weren't in the parks at all besides Blizzard Beach. And I think we're both kind of craving like actual in the park magic. And Molly had the idea to think of some of our favorite things in different categories within each park. So today we're going to talk you through at least one park, maybe two, depending on how long it takes us. And then we'll, wrap up the other parks later on down the road in future episodes. So I'm very excited about it. We have each come up with our top contenders for our different categories for each of these parks. So Molly, do you want to walk through the categories first?
Sure. So the categories are, I'm trying to kind of be all encompassing of the different things you can do in a park, but we can only pick one thing from each park to represent each of these categories. So the categories are ride, restaurant or meal, treat, so that'd be like a dessert or just like a snack, entertainment, and vibe. So although the whole parks are entertaining, like everything is entertaining, I'm talking like nighttime shows that happen throughout the day, parades, maybe street actors or street cast members that come and sing, or character meet and greets, things like that aren't necessarily a ride or definitely not a meal, but just something that entertains you in the park and would put a smile on your face. And then vibe is, it isn't necessarily entertainment, it's just setting. So that would be time, place, energy, maybe music that's happening. So for example, in Epcot, you might say my favorite vibe is walking around the World Showcase at sunset with a reservation at Space 220 coming up. I don't know, whatever vibe makes you the happiest about that park.
Amazing. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. So our first park that we're going to go through is, of course, Magic Kingdom. We don't necessarily start every trip with Magic Kingdom, but I do think it just deserves the utmost respect in all moments and conversations. So we're going to start with Magic Kingdom. Molly gave a slight eye roll. What is that for?
Well, it's just funny. Magic Kingdom is at the moment my least favorite of the four parks.
I knew it.
And it's painful to say because when I think of Disney World, I do think of the castle. It's the most classic. It deserves respect. It's the oldest. It's the most classic. It's the one that you think of when you think of Disney World. But it's been resting on its laurels for a minute, in my opinion. And I haven't been back since Tron was opened, so I might change my opinion with that. But I'm guessing it would take more than just one ride. But still love Magic Kingdom. If I didn't love Magic Kingdom, I probably wouldn't be a co-host on a Disney podcast.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I do think Tron levels it up a bit. And I think Tiana's Bayou Adventure is going to also kind of reignite some magic on that half of the park, or that, section of the park. So it's almost like they're on opposite ends of the park, and there's like new exciting energy going into different pieces of it. So maybe that'll help. But anyway, I'm excited to get into this. Molly, do you want to start?
I will start. I don't know why, but I realized I got completely distracted coming up with my list for Animal Kingdom, and I thought I was done, but I just come up with the restaurant. That was it.
But anyway. So you don't have anything for Animal Kingdom?
Well, I'm coming up with it as we go a little bit, but I'm done with Magic Kingdom. So yes, I can kick off Magic Kingdom. Okay, so my favorite ride to start off with, maybe it's not my favorite, but the one that I'm feeling at the moment is Space Mountain. I think Tron might take the lead after I've experienced that, but for right now, Space Mountain is tried and true. It is so fun. I love the dark ride aspect of it. I love that it is thrilling, although it's not the fastest roller coaster in the world. Something about the darkness of that ride and the tight quarters and the theming and all of it, it makes it really thrilling without actually having too crazy of a roller coaster actually attached. I honestly think if it wasn't a dark ride, it would be a very kid-friendly roller coaster, but the darkness takes it up a level in thrill.
Yeah, it is. I think the older I get, the more like jarring it is physically. But I do remember when I went to Disney World when I was in college, like early college, that was by far my favorite ride. And we rode it like at least 5 or 6 times, just over and over and over again. It is definitely a contender for top spot. Good choice.
I think that it would be kind of difficult to go on it over and over and over again right now. But if the line was short, I would still be very tempted.
Yeah. It didn't faze me at the time, but I was probably like 19. So
invincible 19-year-old.
Yes. Okay. So mine, I went between 2 and you didn't take either of mine.
Oh.
So now I'm going to have to choose. And I think I'm going to choose Pirates of the Caribbean.
Good choice. That was not one of mine, but Magic Kingdom's got some great rides. Like it was hard to even narrow it down.
Well, and I tend to go for the thrill rides. And so Thunder Mountain was the other one that was up there for me. But I think I've just had really good experiences with Pirates of the Caribbean. And it's hot so often that the AC and the darkness and the coolness and just how long you're sitting in a comfy boat, like cooling down with pleasant kind of atmosphere, and it's fun, and there's splashes going on and lights and obviously sailors of not the best behavior running around chasing people. Anyway, I just really like that ride. I think it's fun. And Thunder Mountain is super fun, but it's also, the queue is mostly outside in the heat. And so that's kind of honestly what really kind of put it second in my mind. That's mine. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Both really good choices. So Sarah and I both came up with 2 options because we can't repeat each other and we don't know each other's list. So to mitigate the risk of having the same option, we both picked 2, 1 and a backup. Neither of mine matched either of Sarah's. So that just shows how awesome Magic Kingdom is in the ride department. I know I was kind of poo-pooing on it a minute ago, but really they've got a lot of non-thrill rides, but rides for the whole family that are actually fun.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Agree.
Good choice.
All right. So next, thank you. Next is restaurant. And so this time I'm going to go first. I'm going to choose Be Our Guest.
Wow.
Well, I know, I was just waiting for the dramatic reaction. So I know this restaurant gets kind of a bad rap. Some people say the food's not great, but the theming is good, or it's just like so popular and well known even with like non-Disney World people that sometimes it's hard to get a reservation, or it's just like the kind of obvious choice. But I just can't get past how awesome the theming is walking up to it and once you're inside. And I did this one again, it was whenever I was in college, when I was like probably 19. We just did a walk-up wait list to go in there, and to me, with my little college girl budget, I was like, I am being so fancy right now. I just really enjoyed it. I remember having a great time. The main draw really for me was the feeling of being in this fancy castle, and you can look out the windows and it's like evening and it's snowing, but you could be in Magic Kingdom and it's like 100 degrees outside. So I think just the fact that you're so transported, it's almost like a ride, and that you are kind of taken to another world, and it's a totally special place to be.
What's the food like there? I've never been.
It's just think like what a somewhat fancy French restaurant would have. So they have a variety of different like meats. So they'll have like a chicken dish and a steak dish and a pork dish with like yummy veggies on the side or whatever. So
do you remember what you got?
Yeah, I got the pork. I don't remember why, because I don't normally get pork, but I remember liking it, but thinking, oh my gosh, this is so expensive for what I got. But you're kind of paying for the experience too. Like the Beast and Belle are, well, is Belle there? I don't remember Belle. I know the Beast is there. It's the Beast castle.
Was he there in his human form or in his animal form, in his beastly form?
Always the animal form. I don't know why, because obviously he is human by the end of that movie, and he's a human like, he is a human. So
maybe he liked being a beast better, so he reversed the curse.
Maybe he can choose whenever he, goes in and out of it. Who knows? But so for the meal, I had to go look at their menu again, and I'm sure it's been tweaked a little since I last went there. But I think if I went now, I would get I don't know if I'm saying it right, but the poulet rouge chicken with truffle potato puree, wild mushrooms, and green onion relish. So that sounded good to me.
That does sound really good. That's so funny.
Kind of very fancy. What's funny? Poulet rouge.
Well, not just that, just the different vibe of what we chose.
Oh, okay. Well, now I'm very eager to hear what you chose.
Where is it? Because you said it's in the Beast Castle, but I thought Be Our Guest was in Cinderella's castle.
No.
Is it not? Where is
no,
it?
it's kind of hidden. It's not hidden, but the entrance looks like a drawbridge kind of situation, and it's near Fantasyland, but like to the left. I want to say it's near like the Tangled bathrooms kind of, but I could be wrong.
I would love to go to Be Our Guest. That sounds so nice, so fun. And that's probably exactly what you need in the middle of a big park day, a big Magic Kingdom day. There's so much walking there. Oh my goodness. And having like a good late lunch reservation at Be Our Guest would be perfect, I think.
Yep. Okay, yeah. So I was correct, kind of. It is in Fantasyland, but not quite by the bathrooms. More, it's in between Mine Train, like under the sea kind of area, and then Pinocchio Village House.
I have not been to that side of the park. I mean, I think I have at some point, but I haven't been on Mine Train ever. Interesting. I have a lot more exploring.
Yeah, because you guys met us after that. Yeah. So anyway.
Anywho, so on to mine. I was laughing because both of mine are not as upscale, and I'm deciding which one to go to. I think I'm going to pick the one that I actually haven't been to before out of the two. My two options were Liberty Tree Tavern and Casey's Corner.
Amazing.
Casey's Corner is just super classic. Hot dogs, corn dogs, and I think that it's a chaotic but fun vibe right on Main Street. But that's not a special. I'm picking Liberty Tree Tavern. I've heard great things about it. The main person I've heard great things about it from is a vlogger who's from the UK, though. So I don't know if I fully trust his opinion on Thanksgiving fare. So I need to try it for myself. But Liberty Tree Tavern is an all-you-care-to-enjoy restaurant, which is basically just Disney's way of saying all you can eat, but they're not encouraging you to overly stuff yourself. And it's $42 per adult plus tax and gratuity, and $23 per child. So with this meal, they come out with a salad with like mixed greens, apples, cranberries, and cheese tossed in their house-made dressing, which sounds delicious. They have something called, and then they bring out the Patriots platter, which is basically all your main food and your side, including roasted turkey, pot roast, oven roasted pork with mashed potatoes, seasonal vegetables, herb stuffing, and house-made macaroni. And all of that comes with house-made gravy. And to end it, they have ooey gooey toffee cake, which sounds delicious.
Amazing.
I think we've talked about going to Liberty Tree Tavern before, but honestly, it never sounds that great when I'm in the park. Because usually it's warm, it's hot, you've been walking. Oh, great, time for a full Thanksgiving dinner. But every time I leave, I'm like, oh man, we should have tried that. And it gets really good reviews. So that must mean it's not too heavy for people to remember it fondly.
Yeah.
So the next time we go, maybe next time we go in September, I would love to try this place. It's pretty close to the top of my list of at least Magic Kingdom food to try. There's a lot of stuff I haven't tried across Disney World. Magic Kingdom isn't necessarily known for its food amongst the other parks, but this is one that's at the top of my list for sure.
Yeah, I think this one actually beats out Be Our Guest for me. I just didn't think of it, but I have been wanting to try it. I think the theming there is not as like wow in your face, but I think it is good. And I think the food is more affordable, but you get like a lot more variety and probably tastes better. I don't know, but I'm down. And when we go in September, the problem is we're going in September, so it's going to be really warm. I feel like this would be a great meal for like obviously around Thanksgiving time or like December, January, February when it's still chilly.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
still,
you say it's not very well themed. I think it's very themed, but it's just like Americana themed where it doesn't jump out to us.
Yeah. I didn't say it's not well themed. I said it's just not as wow in your face themed as, but I think we're saying the same thing. It's just more, it's not like you're walking into this big mansion castle situation and you feel like suddenly it's winter outside, but I think it's somewhat authentic to like, I don't know, the late 1700s, early 1800s.
Colonial Williamsburg.
Yeah. Something like that. Nice.
Yeah, so that is my restaurant choice. I mean, it feels kind of lame because I can't talk on how delicious it is myself because I've never been, and I can't tell anyone else they should go try it because I can't vouch for it. But I know enough.
I've heard enough people
where I'm like, it's crazy that it can get my top spot without me ever tasting it. I just haven't truly been wowed by much food at Magic Kingdom, and I think this one is a top contender from what I've heard to dazzle me.
Yeah. That actually reminds me, I want to say it now so we don't forget whenever we do end up going one of these places. I heard this tip for Ohana, but I think it applies also to Liberty Tree Tavern. So a lot of the time you go to these all you care to enjoy restaurants that have really good food and their dessert is amazing, but you're stuffed so you don't really get to enjoy it as much. And you can ask for the dessert to come out earlier, if not at the beginning, like at least mid-meal kind of thing, before you're stuffed. So you could ask for the ooey gooey truffle pudding, whatever thing that you said, or Ohana, it's like the bread pudding.
Mm-hmm.
And you could get it before you're full on the other food.
Little dessert for an appetizer. I'm down. And it's all you care to enjoy. So if you love it, I think they would bring you out more at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. You can just, I think for me, the thing that makes that feel more okay is to be like, we'll have less of this, green bean side that we like don't care that much about or whatever.
You don't have to they're not going to do anything with the food you don't eat. So don't feel bad for one thing because it's all you care to enjoy. Unfortunately, some of the food will be wasted. And Disney is not the time to start thinking about your calories. Disney's the time to enjoy.
No. I wasn't thinking about the calories. I was more thinking, from a waste perspective. I don't want to.
Oh, but they're not taking that food back that they give to you and reserving.
No, I'm saying if you ask for dessert toward the beginning of the meal and you haven't gotten like all of your dishes yet or something, you could say don't bring us a whole lot of XYZ. But anyway,
yeah, maybe
it's just a little strategy to think about. We've never done it before, so if we do that, we'll let you know how it goes. All right, I think that's it on restaurant.
That is for Magic
Next
Kingdom.
Category.
My turn still.
Yes, Magic Kingdom treat.
So I was a little torn on Magic Kingdom treat because there are a lot of things that are classic Disney World treats that come to mind for Magic Kingdom, but they're not unique to Magic Kingdom. So I picked one that I believe is unique to Magic Kingdom, but it's also classic Disney. So I picked the Dole Whip, but the one that comes with the pineapple upside down cake.
Wow.
I'm not the biggest fan of just straight up pineapple Dole Whip. I think we both agree on that. It's good. It's just very tart. It's sweet and tart. It's just kind of a lot. I like it when it's mixed with the vanilla ice cream or when the Dole Whip is put on the pineapple upside down cake. I'm trying to remember where this is even from, but the pineapple upside down cake does a good job of kind of cutting through the tartness of the Dole Whip with some sweetness and some cakiness. I love cake. I love ice cream. This is a great rendition of a Disney classic.
I like it. So Dole Whip was on my list, but it wasn't my number one. So you did not steal it from me, but I agree. That's a really good choice. I'm looking up where it's from right now.
You can get Dole Whip a lot of places. I only remember seeing the pineapple upside down cake on one menu.
I think it's Aloha Isle.
I think you're right. That sounds right.
Because that's the one with like the most, variety of different things to try. That sounds delicious, but I think there's like a lime thing, like a Peter Pan, maybe lime situation from there too. I also really want to try that.
Well, if you want to split skis, I will. It sounds great. Should we hop on a plane now?
No. No, we should not, because my wallet needs a break from Disney World, unfortunately.
Mine too. But on the upside, I'm definitely leaving that weird little laugh in the edit.
Fabulous. Can't wait to hear it back. Well, I think that that's a really good choice. Like I said, obviously Dole Whip was in my list as well, but the one I'm picking you probably will think is lame or underwhelming, but this particular thing I love it. Like anytime it's available, I will try to get it. And it is the Mickey pretzel with the fake cheese.
I do think that is
plastic
lame
cheese.
and underwhelming, but continue.
I knew you would hate on it, but you don't enjoy like soft pretzels as much as I do just in general, and I love them. Even if they're the most boring ones, if they have a little bit of the salt, the big, chunky salt on them, and if you have some of that warm plastic cheese on the side, I just love a good soft pretzel, and a Mickey pretzel is just all the better.
So is it anything special in the flavor department? Because I have my opinions, but when you bite that, is it anything different than what you would get at like a high school basketball game concession stand?
I don't think so, other than that it's always going to be like warm and soft and cooked well, whereas like at a high school basketball game or concession stand situation, it might not be like fresh and warm. It might be a little stale or whatever, but not really. It's not that different.
This is truly just because you like pretzels so much. There's nothing special about those pretzels, but you're just saying that they're executed consistently and you like pretzels.
Yeah, exactly. and they're shaped like Mickey. Molly, don't hate. There are a lot of pretzel lovers out there, and especially the Mickey pretzel.
I would hate to offend the pretzel lovers of the world.
I stand by my decision no matter how much harassment and judgment I get from Molly. So there.
Someone's got to bully her. It might as well be me. That's my sisterly duty.
That's literally her life mantra. Okay. So moving on, I'll go first for the entertainment section. I assumed that this is for all time. It doesn't have to be current day things that are available. Is that the case?
I didn't even think of that. I took it as things that are current, but dazzle me. Do your best.
Okay, well then I might change mine because I was going to say enchantment fireworks, but that's also just because they're not available right now. So it feels like special to pick them because they're so awesome whenever we went last time. But I am going to say something that I've only seen or heard from afar or from weird angles and far away is Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair, which is the castle show that happens multiple times throughout the day. And I have just never taken the time to watch it. And I'm sure it's so cute. I know that they're like dancing and singing and, some dialogue going on. And so I want to see it.
Sarah and I are not good about stopping and enjoying things. Like when we're in Disney, we're going. We are going. We might tell ourselves we're going to take it chill and take rest times and stop and smell the roses, but it doesn't come naturally. So for whoever's listening to the podcast right now, I want you to know that my dream for ourselves is that in a couple years, who knows how long, but down the road, Sarah and I listen back at this and think, wow, we've really calmed down since then. And we really can stop and smell the roses and watch Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair or whatever it's called.
Yes, Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair or whatever show it is at the time. That's just the one that I know is happening now. I think it looks so cute and it's just fabulous. I simply must watch it at some point.
I'm so I can see myself sitting and watching it right now, but knowing if I was actually in the park, we might have a fast pass or lightning lane, whatever it's called. Or, oh my gosh, Peter Pan's ride just went down from an hour-long wait to a 15-minute wait. We gotta go. We can't stop and watch this.
No, we have to stop ourselves. We have to. I think this next trip will be good because we'll be with Mom and Dad, and I think they'll be super content to just take it nice and easy and slow. I mean, they can keep up if we're like going, but I think they'd probably be super happy with us being like, we're just going to chill and watch this show for a second and have our Starbucks in our hands and munching on my Mickey pretzel, and Molly can have her little Dole Whip, and we can just vibe watching Mickey and Minnie having a blast up on stage with all their friends.
Especially if you can get a park bench for Dad. He'd be in heaven.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have to have a great view. Just something where we can hear everything and see a decent amount. All right.
Great
so
choice. I love that.
Thank you. I was trying to think outside the box for that one. Okay, so what is your entertainment choice for Magic Kingdom?
So mine, as far as I know, is not something you can plan. It's just something that you hope you happen to stumble upon. And that's the Dapper Dance.
Oh, sleigh. Oh, I shouldn't say sleigh. It's very cringy now, so I hear. Amazing. Go Dapper Dance.
Yeah. So if you don't know, the Dapper Dans are a pretty classic like barbershop quartet at Disney World. I'm sure the members of it have changed all the time. And I think there's a rotating cast of who is Dapper Dan. Sorry, Judy's. Can you hear her?
Yes, I can hear Judy, and she is so excited about the Dapper Dance. She's actually trying to join them.
Judy's a
but
big
someone
fan.
needs to tell her they don't use instruments, and just she needs to get off the squeaker and just practice her vocalizing.
Yes, they're an a cappella barbershop quartet, and I've strolled across them on my TikTok a few times. They're very classic Disney. They're on Main Street, USA. As far as I know, I don't think they have like set times that they come out. You can probably ask a cast member and see if they know. Usually when I see the TikToks of it, it's just people strolling by, and it's like a magical moment. You can't plan for it. You can't reserve a seat for it or anything like that. But I really think it's something that if I were able to stroll upon it, it would make my day.
Yeah. And the way that you would happen to stroll upon it, like there are no rides on Main Street. So you would have to be taking it easy. You'd have to be shopping around, getting a little snack. Like you would have to be doing what we've been talking about doing. So maybe that'll motivate us to linger. And Mom loves to shop. I like to shop. So we could, shop around, and we could be waiting on the parade. Maybe they come out then.
Yeah, we could also like rehearse some harmony, a song in two-part harmony, so that if we stumble across them, we can also sing.
Yeah, I think that's a fabulous idea. Other than the fact that I think our go-to song is For Good from Wicked, which is not Disney. So we'll have to think on that.
Sarah and I really are not performers, but if you catch us on a road trip, just the two of us, we're going to be dazzling our crowd of zero.
I mean, we don't have terrible voices, so that's a plus. But yeah, we're definitely not.
Yours is better than mine, but we're not bold enough to sing to the Dapper Dans. That's completely a joke.
No, we're not brave. Not brave in that way anyway. Okay, I like it. I think that was a very clever choice. I didn't think about them, so kudos to you.
Thank you.
Next is Magic Kingdom Vibe, and Molly's gonna go first on this one.
Okay, I'm really glad I got to go first on this one because I didn't have a backup.
Oh, good, that worked out.
I'm really glad I got to go first because I didn't have a backup, because I could only picture one vibe that I favor above all of Magic Kingdom. So Magic Kingdom in and of itself is a vibe. You go anywhere and it's a vibe. But when I think of like which one stands out, it is after you get into the park first thing in the morning, like early rope drop. You're walking toward that castle. You have a coffee. You have like a Joffrey's in your hand. And you are at the front of that rope, ready and waiting to go on your ride. You're sipping on your coffee. No one's pushing and shoving you because you're at the very front. It's the most fun. The cast members that are on the other side of the rope are interacting with people. Everyone's energy is really good at that point in the day because it's the start of the day. They have their whole hopes and dreams in front of them. I love the rope drop feeling of the day being your oyster. Your feet are fresh, so you're not tired.
The start of something new.
Exactly. And you have like a front and center view of the castle. I guess when I was picturing this, I was picturing Disneyland, because that's where they hold people right in front of the castle if you're rope dropping Fantasyland. But the same vibe exists if you rope drop Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, that is a great vibe. And you took one of mine, although it was my second one. So that worked out.
Perfect.
I do picture with that thing you described, I'm picturing Disneyland as well, because we met those two friends from the UK who were so fun, and they were dressed up so cute, and they had their like matching ears with their lounge fly or their purse. And it was just,
they were super
so fun
and bubbly, and they also gave off very rich vibes. Not in a bad way, like down to earth rich, but they were talking about like, oh, when we stayed at the Grand Floridian, I'll never go back. I can't do anything below Grand Flo. Now I'm a Grand Flo girl. I was like, I wish I had that money. Good for you.
Yeah, I'm a Grand Flow girl in my heart, but not in reality. No, they were super nice, but I agree. Everyone has all the energy. They're still just hopeful for the rest of the day. You've got the whole day in front of you. I totally agree. And that is why it was also on my list.
And in that moment, I believe everyone's going to have the most magical day possible. In reality, some people's days probably are going to go not exactly as planned, but in that moment, everything is possible. Everything is magical. The world is your oyster. Start of something new. I love it.
And it's not hot yet.
That's probably the biggest pro of the whole thing. You're not drained by the heat yet.
Yeah.
What's
like
yours?
it. Okay. So mine is, it's going to harken back to our very first episode, I think. Whenever I talked about one of my favorite memories at Magic Kingdom, and that is the vibe when you are waiting. Well, it's really the whole vibe around waiting for the fireworks, whether you have your spot yet or not. Like, you just got your snack or your little treat. For us, it was like a little frozen yogurt ice cream situation. And, you know, you're headed to the castle and you're getting closer to the castle, and she is glowing. She looks her best in my opinion. Well, I don't know. She has a lot of good looks. Daytime look is also stunning. But
to clarify, Sarah's talking about the castle when she says she.
Sorry, did I not?
You said
did
that.
I not say?
You said that, but then you talked about it for long enough afterwards where I was thinking, wow, she is glowing. She is beautiful. She's amazing. She's a castle.
She is the castle, and she is the prettiest girl in school. Some people like to say Epcot's the prettiest girl. The Epcot ball is the prettiest girl. I think the castle has her beat. They're all females, by the way, the beacons of magic. Anyway, I digress. But the castle at night, as the fireworks are about to start, and really after the fireworks, just that whole energy of all the people gathered together to like look at this one beautiful thing. Yeah, at that point of the day, there's a little bit less energy and enthusiasm for what's coming up. Like Molly's, it's kind of a hopeful energy. And I think the kind of castle at night is more of a, we really did it. We really had a great full big day. This is the cherry on top kind of nostalgic moment. So that's mine.
Great pick. We also had probably the best firework experience you could possibly ever dream to have. Maybe short of like paying a bunch of money for the dessert show. When we went to Magic Kingdom like a couple years ago, we had ice cream in hand, like Sarah said, and like it was a miracle. Basically, they just opened up the aisle to fill right dead center in front of the castle as we were walking up to it. It was like 10 magical moments back to back to back.
Yeah, it was fabulous. If you haven't heard our first episode, go listen to that, because we talk about some of our magical moment memories and things like that. And we talk about it even more in depth on that episode. So, you know, shameless plug. We would love for you to hang out with us even more. All right. I think that's it for Magic Kingdom. Do you have anything else to add on Magic Kingdom?
Should we go through one at a time and pick one of ours? Pick the ultimate. So we each picked a fighter for each of these categories.
Oh.
And then we have to come to a conclusion on ride, restaurant,
Which one
treat,
was
entertainment, and vibe. Which one wins?
Well, I'm obviously going to pick mine.
Are you?
Yeah, I think so. Ooh, wait, what was your entertainment stuff or dance? You're just saying that because you think you're going to win.
I know I'm going to win.
Okay, I do. I don't know. I'm really torn though.
So Space Mountain versus not Haunted Mansion. Space Mountain versus Pirates.
Well, no, I thought you were saying overall, right? So it's like.
Oh, no, I was saying we go down one by one.
Oh, okay, we can do that. That makes more sense. Okay, so No, because I'm going to pick mine every time.
No, you're not. You're going to pick Liberty Tree Tavern. And you're going to pick...
That's the only time.
And my treat definitely wins. And
no,
I'll give you...
it doesn't.
I'll give you Nikki's magical friendship fare.
You'll give me. Oh, nice. Thank you. Nope. I refuse to do this with you because I already picked mine. The only one I say that I concede that you for sure won was the Liberty Tree Tavern. But I also really want to do Be Our Guest again. So I don't regret that.
For the record, listeners, I am willing to compromise. I am willing to think about this logically. Sarah is the one that's being stubborn. Anyway.
That totally checks out, Molly, because you're never stubborn. Never.
I'm not. No. Thank you for recognizing my perfection. Okay.
And I am just absolutely unable to think objectively. All right. Let's move on.
I want that as my ringtone.
It's only funny because it's not true. Anyway, okay. Animal Kingdom. I think I went last on the last one, so I go first on this one?
Yep.
All right. So this one was pretty easy for me, but really the two are so different that I want them both. But alas, I will just pick one. So the ride that I'm going to choose from Animal Kingdom is Flight of Passage. It is just so stunningly beautiful. Molly's giving me the big oh face, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe.
I mean, it's a great choice. It's truly a great choice. But once again, you did not pick either of my two options.
Wow. I'm pretty sure you picked Kilimanjaro. So I almost took that just to take it from you, but I'm going to stick with Flight of Passage. I just love that ride. It's so beautiful. It smells good. Again, it's an air conditioning. It's just amazing. And the queue is also really, really good. So yep, I'm sticking with that one.
That is a really good choice. I think almost everyone in the world would agree with you based on rope dropping and where the line goes. Everyone goes to Flight of Passage, it seems like. So unless you're first at the rope drop, you might consider going somewhere else, because we rope dropped Flight of Passage the last time we went and we were still waiting maybe 45 minutes in that line after park open. So it's a great ride. I hate to say it, it's magical. It's wonderful. It is so highly rated and it deserves to be pretty highly rated, but I think it might just be teetering on overrated.
Disagree, but I know what you're saying. I think we just need to be smarter about how we time doing that ride, because I think our rope drop, at times we rope dropped it and we've been truly in the first batch of people on the ride. So it worked out great. And we were off the ride 5 minutes after the park opened kind of thing. And we've also done it where we rope dropped, but we were toward the end of the rope drop group, and it was a bad decision.
Yeah.
So
the thing about rope dropping is it's so great because you can get on the ride as soon as the park opens. But if you want a really good spot when the park opens, you basically have to stand for just as long, maybe longer, waiting for the park to open. So really what you're doing when you're rope dropping is you're elongating your day a little bit by adding a wait time before park even opens. Mm-hmm. But great choice. Honestly, it's a great ride. It blew my mind the first time I rode it, and it still continues to blow my mind every time I go on it. It's awesome.
It is. All right, what's yours?
So my choice, Kilimanjaro Safari was number 2.
Okay.
Number 1 was actually Expedition Everest.
Okay, I knew that would be your other. I knew it.
I think as far as bang for buck goes of thrill and fun for wait time, you can't beat Expedition Everest in Animal Kingdom. You can find Expedition Everest, depending on the time of year, you can probably find the line for 20 to 30 minutes. And on a busy day, maybe an hour, which is going to be a lot shorter than a lot of the others. But I love roller coasters, and this one's the perfect level of thrill. I personally could deal with a little more thrill, but that's just me.
Because you're so brave and strong.
Thank you, Sarah.
Because you can handle more thrill.
No, it's just a Disney roller coaster, so it's not going to be as intense as a Universal one, which is okay. It's got its things going. There's a lot of fun stuff to look at. They're trying to make sure the kids
are willing to, get on it.
Yeah, the queue is really cute for it too. It makes you feel like you're going on an expedition to Mount Everest, which is super cool. A thing that everyone dreams of doing and few people will actually do in their lives. So you can kind of pretend that you are going up to Everest and you're reading the lore of the Yeti. the biggest downside of Everest every time I go on it is that the Yeti animatronic doesn't move. There was a big engineering faux pas. I don't remember the details of it, but basically the Yeti barely ever moved. It was supposed to be a very big moving creature that like swipes at you as your cart goes by it on the track. And right now they just kind of have like disco lights that play around it, trying to give the illusion that it's moving. I've heard that they can't fix it because they'd have to like completely tear the whole ride down for it. I hope one day Yeti gets his justice and Yeti can dance instead of just having the disco all around him and unable to move with it.
Yeah. I mean, Molly mourns the loss of this animatronic Yeti every time we ride that ride. And so for the sake of Molly's mourning and her sadness, we really do hope all the best. Best wishes.
Imagine being the engineer that did the calculation error. Oh, that would be so painful.
Yeah, very painful. That's true. Flight of Passage doesn't have any broken animatronics. It doesn't have any animatronics, but it is perfection screen-wise.
It's a screen ride, which some people will not love, but it's better than the Universal ones by a mile. By a million
super
miles.
Immersive. Yep. I love it. Okay, so now Molly's going to go first for Animal Kingdom restaurant.
So I had two top choices here, and I really could go with either of them, but I'm kind of picking the restaurant based on which one I'd rather be in the vibe of. And for that reason, I'm going to pick the Nomad Lounge.
Okay, very nice.
So we went to the Nomad Lounge on our last trip too, and it was so fun. Like, it's not main meal stuff. It's a lot of small plates and drinks. But in the middle of a hot, tiring Disney Animal Kingdom day, it's exactly what we needed. They've got a lot of cute little small plates. We got the bread service there, which was really fun. Lots of different kinds of breads and like dips to try it in. And then they have like, I think that their menus rotated a couple times maybe since we were there, or at least once, because I didn't recognize everything. But they had like these like yucca sliders. I'm probably butchering how you say that, but like starchy potato type sliders and a few other things that looked really interesting and tasty. Yeah, I imagined getting that and something called the Annapurna Zing, which is a drinky drink. Let me pull up the menu so I can read it. So the Annapurna Zing is a really cute drink. It comes with a cute little purple flower on it, and it looks like it has like some mint. I think it's gin based and like very simple, light, fresh, not too sweet, but not too adult drinky tasting. So that's what I pictured myself eating for this.
Amazing. It sounds fabulous. My pick is going to be very similar. We've been to the Nomad Lounge. It was super good. The Nomad Lounge, if you didn't know, is the lounge portion of the broader restaurant, and that is right next door, and they share a kitchen, and that is what I chose as my restaurant.
Oh my gosh,
is Tiffin's.
Sister, you picked the sister restaurant.
Wow, sister restaurant, Tiffin's, and of course, mine is the more fabulous, more bougie, more acclaimed version of
more pretentious. I'm nothing against it, truly. I'm just trying to shade Sarah.
Yeah, it's definitely more expensive, but I've never been there and I want to try it. And I think I would get Adam Hatton and Gary C. I was like, ooh, Gary C. So anyway, but they have a go-to meal there, and I think they both always get like the butter chicken. Tiffin's, I believe, is mostly Indian food, but it has a variety, I think, of Asian influences. So I'd get the butter chicken, and then they always get a mocktail called the Lily Gorilli. And it is described as a strawberry mocktail drink, and it's at the Nomad Lounge too. So it would be an option there, but they also have it at Tiffin's. So I think I would get that. I would really, ball out and get a fun mocktail and a delicious butter chicken dinner.
That does sound great. I like a true cocktail, but when I'm at Disney and I see those prices, I'm always tempted to get a mocktail because like the alcohol is not exactly what I'm going for, but I do like that it kind of gives depth of flavor, I think, in an alcohol. But man, the mocktails are like $6 versus a cocktail for like 22. So my inner bargain hunter loves the mocktail section of the menu. I want the cocktail at the mocktail price.
Yes. Molly wants alcohol for the price of not alcohol. But yeah, I mean, I'm always going to choose the mocktail version of anything regardless, but it does help that it's cheaper for sure. But then I also think, but I could just make my little mocktail that we talked about last episode with blue Powerade and little lemonade and a little vitamin water. And suddenly I feel like I'm drinking a $7 or $8 drink and it's, free refills.
All you need is like a little garnish, like a little mint sprig in it or like a little like twist of a lemon rind. And then all of a sudden that takes your soda fountain mocktail up to $10.
And a glowing plastic ice cube, which didn't you save yours from a different drink?
I did. I don't think I have it anymore. I've moved since then.
Unfortunate. We can make our own little fancy thing. I'm sure you could get something like that on Amazon.
And I'm sure the battery of that would have died by now anyway.
Yeah, that's okay. It doesn't actually keep it cold, so it really serves no purpose other than vibes, but that's okay. Anyway, so that was my meal. We were definitely on the same page there. I also want to try, just shout out to Yak and Yeti. I've never tried the actual restaurant there, and I've always kind of wanted to try it. It looks fun and kind of more casual, but still like a legit restaurant, and I've heard good things. So, anywho.
It's your turn to pick treat.
Okay, so this one, I personally am not like feeling ultra excited about it, but I hear about it so much, I just need to try it. And it's the corn on the cob from Harambe Fruit Market, or just Harambe Market. It has, I guess, like a certain kind of seasoning on it. I think maybe African seasoning or Asian. I'm not sure, but there's a specific seasoning that people rave about. And I just hear about it like in vlogs often, and it just gets high praise. So I must try the corn on the cob at Harambe Market.
I think most of the world would agree with you. I have trouble getting excited about corn. Corn really is not my thing. But I've heard enough people.
You have a hard time getting excited about corn?
It's cone. A big lump with knobs. It has a juice. I'm dating myself a little bit. I am a millennial, and that's okay.
Well, you're a zillennial.
I am a zillennial. Zennial,
yes,
whatever they're called. But
zillennial.
The corn kid will be supreme in my head forever. He's amazing. I think that's a good pick. When you walk by, it smells really good. It's something that is a little fresher and lighter. So I think that's a good pick. You're not going to go wrong with that one.
Yeah. Yeah. And it may be a one and done for me, but I have to try it, check it off the list. And there really wasn't another treat that I was like, it was screaming to me like, yes, you must pick this.
I feel like we're less likely to get that because we can't really share it. I mean, I guess you could, but you're like, it's
kinda
corn
gross.
on the cob. You're kind of like putting your lips all over it and your teeth all over it. It's not like you could share it like with a spouse or like maybe with your child if you loved them.
I would assume so. I would assume a parent.
But I would
loves their
not
child.
share it with Sarah.
We're really digging at each other. I think I set the tone early. Oops.
Well, also, it's not anything against Sarah, but I feel like whenever we leave Disney, someone always gets sick at the very end of the trip.
Yeah.
So, like, don't tempt fate and slob on the same corn on the cob.
Nasty.
Anyway,
all right.
Great choice, Sarah.
Thank you. All right, what's your treat choice at Animal Kingdom?
So, I haven't had this one before, but it looked really yummy. And it was from Yak and Yeti, which I thought was interesting. So it's from like a table service restaurant, but I think you can get it like to go. And it is fried cream cheese and pineapple wontons.
Wow.
It's supposed to be like kind of a sweeter take on a cream cheese wonton, kind of like, I guess, similar to a crab rangoon. The pictures looked really good, and it kind of comes in like a cream sauce, and I want to put that in my mouth.
That sounds delicious. I love a good wonton with the cream cheese. And normally it comes with kind of like a sweet and sour sauce. So it makes sense that you would have pineapple, like something sweet to go along with it.
Yeah, I don't know how sweet it is, but I think they took it a little bit in the dessert direction. I love a cream cheese wonton. Like, my boyfriend and I last weekend, nothing sounded good except for Panda Express to either of us. And and there was no parking at this Panda Express, like in the middle of downtown Salt Lake City on St. Patrick's Day with no parking. And we circled around for, I kid you not, 30 minutes trying to park at this particular Panda Express.
Wow, dedicated.
We
Dedicated to a mediocre restaurant, but I'm not shading it because I love Panda Express.
And we were laughing because we knew how ridiculous it was, but those are the links I will go to for a good cream cheese wonton, and this seems to take it up a level into a dessert level. So I want to put it in my mouth, like I said before.
Okay, well, you do that. And
Thank you.
I think I'm curious how that'll work. We definitely should try that. I mean, obviously all this stuff we want to try at some point, but I'd be curious how you order that if you're not like going to the restaurant.
I say that I think you can take it to go, and that's because I saw a picture of it on a paper plate. Okay. I think there's also I know there's a quick service next door that they might both have the same thing. Yeah,
no, they're both called like Yak and Yeti, but one's like the restaurant and one's a quick service, and maybe that's what you were seeing. Maybe they do serve it both. That would make sense.
Yeah, so that's my treat. I think my treat wins. Duh. On to the next one.
I mean, probably, but the corn. I had to do it. All right, the next one is entertainment. Molly, what is your entertainment choice?
I'm a little tempted. There are two things I could pick right here. And I'm going to go for the one that it's just better. It is. It's the Festival of the Lion King.
Wow, applause.
Boo-hoo, cry about it. I'm pretty sure it was on your list.
No, it wasn't.
Was it really not?
Nope.
That's surprising because this is like, I think it's by far the best show that Disney World has. Aside from like their fireworks shows, but just like entertainment. I've also not seen Fantasmic. I'm fake. But Festival of the Lion King, it's a really beautiful show with a lot of like aerialists and acrobats and people on stilts and dancers, and I don't know. It's very like Cirque du Soleil meets Disney. Maybe not on the same caliber, but it's hard to say because these are very talented people. They're animatronics of Timon and Pumbaa and not Mufasa, Simba and a random giraffe that no one knows, but it's cool to look at. And they tell the story of the Lion King, but through live music, live dance, live aerialists. There are these guys dressed in monkey costumes who are truly like amazing tumblers. It's very visually entertaining. It's beautiful. I want to do it every time we go there.
Wow. I mean, I like it a lot, but I don't know if I want to do it every time we go there. But I honestly, most entertainment things, I don't want to do it every time I go there because
it takes like 30 minutes out of your day. So I could see someone not really wanting to do that and carve that time out every time. But if you're going to do a full on Animal Kingdom day, I think that there's plenty of time.
Yeah, I agree. And my pick is going to show that I agree. And my pick is the Finding Nemo show.
No way. I thought about it.
I know. I thought about the Lion King show too, and I like it, but I think I've just done it more often, and I don't know. I get bored. I think I get bored in the Finding Nemo one too, but I think I enjoyed it a little bit more. Maybe it was also because it's new, really comfy seats. You know, it's in an actual theater, like instead of those, wooden benches. And it was just really cute, and it wasn't very long either. I think it was shorter than I thought, which was good because I was like, oh, this is going to take forever. But it was pretty quick, and it was so colorful too. I really liked the colors.
It's a really good show. I've seen some people hating on it online, and I don't understand why. The cast members, but the people performing in it are so talented. That goes for like every Disney show I've seen. Every time someone's singing live, performing live, acting, dancing, whatever, they're truly like top-notch performers.
Yeah, super, super good. And I mean, it makes sense. Disney would draw in some of the best talent, and it's just wild. Like, some of these people truly could be like stars on Broadway if they just, got noticed by the right talent agent or scout or whatever. I don't know. They're really good. I do want to give one random kind of nod in entertainment to something from the past that I've never seen, but I've always wished I would have seen, could have seen, and I want a version of it at least to come back. And that is Rivers of Light at Animal Kingdom. It's like their night show. And I feel like it was all the calm and beautiful parts of a Harmonious condensed into one smaller nighttime show that was all like more Animal Kingdom themed, obviously. So I just have always thought that was like the perfect show. Like, that would have been like right up my alley. But maybe someday they'll bring something back. I feel like that kind of that
They're
viewing area is underutilized.
It's definitely underutilized, and that's the one park that doesn't really have a nighttime show of any sort most of the time that I can think of.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because of the whole early close, like they close early most of the time, so you can't really get that like after dark feel or something. But I don't know exactly. Probably. But I really have always thought that show looked so pretty, and I just want to see it. But I didn't pick it because I wanted to pick something that's actually real today. But anyway,
I've heard that they don't have a nighttime show there, and they don't have longer hours like the other parks into the night because of the animals at Animal Kingdom, which I get. However, like, can they not just put on like a little like sleep mask?
Poor animals.
I'm kidding.
Okay, wait, who went first on that one? Entertainment. You went first.
I went first,
right?
So it's your turn.
Okay. Oh man, I only picked one thing, and this is not. Oh, it's fine. I'll adjust it a little bit. So this is the vibe. What vibe at Animal Kingdom do I pick? And it's actually going to be similar to my Magic Kingdom pick, but there are no fireworks really at Animal Kingdom. But I think just anytime the Tree of Life does something cool and magical, if it lights up and the lady starts speaking about, the magic of Animal Kingdom, whatever, and you can, see the distinct animals come to life on the tree after dark, that is definitely it for me. Originally, I said like the Beacons of Magic show from the 50th anniversary at Animal Kingdom, but since that's not a thing anymore, whatever version of that type of show they have today, that is what I pick.
Slay. I love that. It's a hard one. It's a hard one to pick because I really think the whole park is a vibe.
Yep.
And the whole park,
everywhere you go,
it's more cohesive, I think, than a lot of the other parks where, like, in Magic Kingdom, the different lands are so distinct from each other. And there's some distinction in Animal Kingdom. There's enough distinction to give each area personality, but it's very cohesive and tied together.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you think about like Hollywood Studios, that is not cohesive at all.
No.
It's like jarring going from Toy Story Land to like
Galaxy's Edge.
Batuu. Yeah, it's just totally different. But I mean, it's still an okay thing. It's just, yeah, you're right. Animal Kingdom is definitely the most cohesive. Even Dino Land like doesn't feel like totally jarringly different from the other lands.
And I think a lot of it is like the music kind of flows well throughout the whole park. But like, what is it? Fantasyland and Magic Kingdom has absolutely nothing to do with Frontierland. It's just, they're very distinct, which I think maybe gives the whole park at Animal Kingdom more of a sense of like peace. You're not like readjusting your senses all the time. It's a fluid experience. Once you're immersed in it, there's no like readjusting throughout the day for it. So that leads into mine. I had a hard time picking. I wrote the whole park is a vibe, how to pick. But I ended up picking evening after the heat is kind of died down a little bit. This would have to be like in the winter months or closer to the winter, because in the summer, I think the park closes when it's still pretty light outside. But I'm picturing like the evening time as the sun's going down a little bit in Pandora, and the whole place is kind of coming to life with their bioluminescent glow. And yeah. And
amazing.
All the time when I picture a vibe, I'm picturing a little treat in my hand too.
That's true. Just assume there's a treat involved and
you'll be right.
It'll be a vibe. Yep. Yeah, I agree. I really enjoy nighttime at these parks because the lighting is so good and it just adds like a calm. I think that it makes everyone, all of the guests, calm down too. Like everyone, I don't know, I feel like there's a peak in the afternoon when the sun is the most intense. That's when everyone is on edge. And by the time the sun sets, it's like everyone is suddenly in a good mood again. It's something about that lighting and, like dimmed lights. It's just a calmer vibe. And so I think there's something to that with these parks, especially like Molly said, when you can go more like in the winter and less like peak summer, when you can actually experience the parks after dark. It's just totally just different and special.
I also think like at the peak time in the middle of the day, a lot of kids are struggling a little bit. They're pushing through nap time maybe. And then by the time that like evening kind of starts to hit, those kids that have been fighting a nap are in a stroller and a little more calm, or at least they're maybe a little zoned out. It just seems like there's a peak in the day where like tensions are at their highest. And also, fun might be at its highest at that peak of the day. But I love the wind down into evening when it's calmer and people are winding down their days. They're more reflecting on their day, maybe picking out their last thing they want to go do, eat, see, smell, experience before they leave the park. And everyone's a little sleepy. It's a great, I love wake up vibes and I love wind down vibes. The middle of the day part, that's when you got to be on your A game because you're going to get hit by a scooter if you don't.
Yeah, a scooter or a stroller, or you're going to accidentally be the person who loses it and it's like, like unleashes on somebody. But
I mean, I've never personally done that, but I have seen Sarah go crazy on a family.
Feral.
Yeah. She went on crazy on this Make-A-Wish family. It was brutal.
Okay, do not bring Make-A-Wish into it. I have never done anything to a Make-A-Wish kid. Anyway, okay, I think that wraps up our... Molly's still laughing at herself. You're so funny. You're hilarious. Those
our
were
sister vibes are on full display tonight.
Anyway, those were our awesome favorite picks. I don't know if I would call these our favorites, but we kind of made a pick of like, each of these categories. And I feel really good about our choices. If you want to let us know, how you would have done things differently, find us on TikTok. I've been, trying to get into TikTok lately. We have 6 dedicated followers. Those do include Molly's boyfriend. Well, Molly is her pug on TikTok. Myself, my dog, and then 2 strangers. So we're really doing great.
I hope those strangers are real, and I hope they actually care, and I hope they're not bots. But they're probably are bots.
They probably are. But that's okay. We're just trying. We're out here trying, and we're enjoying ourselves. So that's what matters. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up. Anything else, Molly?
I was giving you a hard time about your picks. And in truth, I would happily do anything on your list except for both of your treats. I could pass on, honestly, the corn and the pretzel. But other than that, you've got good taste.
Wow. Well, the corn, I did have a lot of caveats there. I probably wouldn't get it more than once. But the pretzel, I stand by with my whole heart. And you're just going to have to deal with it. And, more for me. So that's fine. All right. I think that is going to wrap us up, folks. I guess we'll see you later, Castle Dwellers.
Bye.